Welcome to your first look, Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. We're back at Washougal. We missed this race last year dearly. We're going to have fans back. It's going to be a really good time. This show all brought to you by 6D Helmets, committed to the relentless pursuit of better brain protection. I'm Jason Weigandt. We're pumped to be here, not just because of the atmosphere we expect at Washougal, not just because of the beauty of Washougal, but also because of how great this series has been thus far, where the battles are good and the points seem to shift momentum-wise every week. We'll get into that in a moment, but let's break down what this track is all about. We talked to Dean Wilson earlier. Talk Washougal. Okay, we're checking in with Dean Wilson here. Do me a favor, make me look good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got you.
All right. Yeah. Now we're about the same. All right. I'm on top of the board behind the starting gate, and he's now below it. All right, Dino. Dean's Dean. You somehow are grinding out, top tens. You told us a couple weeks ago you're not 100%. Are you happy actually how the results are going, considering?
Yeah, I mean it's all right. It's not where I want to be, obviously. It's a tough season, and I've caught this Epstein-Barr virus. I hate always going on about it, but it's just. Yeah, it's just what has happened. Before the season, I was feeling really just no energy, very, very sleepy. And I thought I was just tired. And then I went and got a blood panel done, and my testosterone level was very, very low. So then they said, hey, go get another blood panel done with the Epstein-Barr test. And then I did that, and then that was a very high positive test. So I've just been trying to manage it, and that's all I can do. I sometimes don't have the strength and energy for the second motos, but I'm doing the best. I want to be here for the team. Unfortunately, the teammates are injured, and I just, I want to be here racing, and so here we are.
But I feel like the results, we're not seeing you like in 23rd place in Moto2, like barely able to do laps. How are you managing that?
Man, I'm just trying to be smart during the week and rest. I'm still, I don't want to show up to the race and get crazy arm pump and stuff like that. So I've just been trying to manage it and doing a little bit less than normal and trying to rest. And I honestly sleep so much, it's crazy how much this takes it out of you. So the best thing to do to get rid of it is resting. And I've been taking, the proper nutrition and supplements and just trying to do all the correct things. And hopefully, we don't put ourselves in a big hole where we can't get out. Hopefully by the end of the season, we just have a nice rest and we'll be okay for next year.
Are you a nap after practice before the motos guy?
No, I cannot nap.
I don't know how they do that.
I can't. Marv can do it because I used to be teammates with him. He would always nap, and I would just be laying there with my eyes closed staring.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this track. We used to have this joke. The fans would say unidirt. Every national you go to, the dirt starts to feel exactly the same. It was like a universal dirt. This is different here at Washougal.
Yeah, no, this is the hardest packed dirt we have on the circuit, I would say. You got Pala and stuff, but this is just that dirt's real hard, shiny, slippery. It's a very fast track. The shadows kind of make it hard to read the track sometimes. It's kind of just hard to see the bumps, and it definitely throws another factor into it. So I feel like this track, you have to respect it or it will bite you.
Okay, and last thing, there's been a little change in track prep this year. They're not going as deep, not as rutted. I don't know how it's going to affect this one because this wasn't always the deepest track anyway. Yeah. But how do you feel about that? A lot of the riders like it. I'm assuming someone won't. What do you think?
I love it.
You do? Okay.
Yeah. I hate when we go, like Paula ran one, I think they started the season off really deep and muddy, and like we didn't even hit insides till like the second moto. It was so muddy, and I just like that we can move around a little bit more, and for me, I'm a bigger guy, right? So if it's soft, I'm sinking in there. So the big unit needs a little bit of hard pack so we can power through a little bit better and get better starts.
Show everybody how tall you really are.
Okay.
See?
Here you go.
Yeah, see? He needs a harder track so it doesn't sink in because he's the big man. All right, thanks, Dino.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
All right, thanks to Dean Wilson here, Kellen Brauer. Again, we got 2 RacerX people at the races, making my job easier. Okay, so we broke down the track with Dean. The 450 class, it's been really crazy this year, but I still don't know how many people had Justin Barcia is going to be the guy that beat Dylan Ferrandis. But he did it. He held him off in a moto, and he won the overall. So Barcia's on the list.
Yeah, and it was kind of out of nowhere, too. Qualified 12th on the day. Kind of came in a little bit under the radar. But how big is a start, right? Gets out front, starts out front, gets away early, gets away from all the chaos. By the time they caught him, they were out of gas. They couldn't get to him anymore.
Yeah, that includes Eli Tomac, who was so determined to finally have a good first moto that even, Roczen goes down, Sexton hits Roczen, all that happens. Tomac still hadn't even gotten to the first turn yet.
Right, and he had to charge all the way back from like 38th spot and it exerted all of his energy. So when Moto 2 came around, he didn't have that same life, and he even said that he felt like he was a little bit off in that second moto.
Right, and we actually caught Tomac's reaction about using all his energy in the first moto last week. That's why he didn't have the second moto magic. Here's some words from Eli.
Yeah, weekend was pretty good. Second overall, fought all that first moto there. Had to do a lot of work, made a lot of good passes though. Had really good speed in the back sand section in the rollers, so I was able to go outside and get over the wall jump. I did the majority of my pass in there, so that was good to have that in my pocket for that race. And then made the push to third and got right onto the wheel of Dylan and Justin, but just couldn't quite get it done. I think I was to them around 4 to go or 3 to go there, but they had a pretty good pace. And once I got there, I was a little bit spent on energy, so kept fighting. But they just had a little bit. I couldn't get those lines working right. So. Yeah.
Okay, so that's Eli Tomac. He's getting better with each week, but he still does not have an overall win. Now Barcia does, and Roczen does, and Ferrandis has a bunch. As for Barcia, Ferrandis has been so hard to stop. When he catches you, I call it the danger zone. Some people don't think that's a cool nickname, but Barcia was able to overcome it because when you catch Barcia, he is going to race you as hard as anyone will ever race you. It was actually kind of fun to watch him hang it out and get it done.
Yeah, and Daniel Blair put it perfectly on the Pulp Show this week. He said Barcia's the best defensive rider he's ever seen, and Barcia is really good at that. He puts his bike in spots where it makes it hard for people to make a pass. We saw them almost come together before the finish line jump, and he was absolutely sending it off of Mount Martin to make that last all the way to the end of the moto.
Yeah, it was washing the front end on the top of a hill where you would be in bad shape if you crash. And he said in the press conference when he does stuff like that, he doesn't even remember.
It's funny. I'm good with it. The team always asks me like, "Hey, that was gnarly?" I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't remember. Like, yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I don't know. Somehow I'm okay with it, which is a good thing, I suppose, because I like to keep her on the edge a little bit. So yeah, it's I can't wait to rewatch the race and see some good clips.
Okay, so Ferrandis ends up extending his points lead even though he didn't get the win. Barcia's got some momentum. Tomac was riding well at least the last couple of weeks. A win is certainly in play for him. Last guy that we have to talk about here is Ken Roczen. Goes down to the first turn. I'm like, his season could be done. And then he puts in a fantastic second moto, and here's why that's big. Hit a 3-race win streak early in Supercross. Was never quite the same. Had a 3-moto win streak early in Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. Hasn't been quite the same. To me, this 1-moto win is big for Roczen to show he can do it in the second half.
And he also did it when Ferrandis had his worst moto of the year as well. So he was able to capitalize back on those points. And this is a crucial round because we're coming into this last round before a big break. So this momentum shift in the championship might be huge if Roczen can get this rolling again, get a swing out this weekend, maybe even go 1-1 and put it back in his favor.
It's odd. Roczen doesn't have a win at this track before, even though you would think with his smooth riding style on a somewhat slicker surface, it would work for him. So interesting how it's all breaking down in this 450 class. We'll be back in a second. We'll talk 250s. Oh, yeah, the very famous whoop section at the finish line here at Washougal. That's what it's all about. And the finish line's right over there. We have seen a lot of motos where it actually comes down to the finish and these whoops.
Yeah, it's a drag race. Sometimes these guys come out of the corners, they just get on the back of the bike and they're clicking gears. And it's a great section before the finish line because it really shows kind of who wants it at the end right there.
That's
You're
right.
tired, you need to send it through the whoops one more time. Hold on tight and try to get that win.
You can get it done. Now, as far as the track is concerned, the Washougal folks have said most years here they're always managing the fact that they've had tons of rain before the event. They're trying to reclaim the track. The weather has been really good leading into this event, so they're excited about how this dirt and how this track is going to shape up. And we're excited about the 250 class. 6 winners in 6 rounds, which is an all-time record. And now it includes Jeremy Martin. He's now 4th in points, 68 points behind. To make up this kind of ground on, say, Justin Cooper, who doesn't normally have bad races, is a long shot. But it's not out of the question. He's going to start making those guys think about him and maybe add some pressure.
Yeah, he's going to play spoiler at least down the stretch. He's going to get in there. He's going to start battling for moto wins, and he's going to force Cooper and Jet potentially into mistakes that they wouldn't have if they were just battling each other. You have another face in there challenging for wins. It's going to make it difficult for them to fight each other when they have a face like that in there.
And he was good enough, even with the injuries, to go 1-1 last week. We'll have 2 weeks off after this one, so down the stretch, J-Mart could be the man to beat. Here is J-Mart reflecting on his wins last week at Millville.
Oh man, today was really cool. It was really special. I mean, it's been a terrible year for me, obviously this year, with getting hurt in Supercross and then being in contention right away for the outdoors and then going down right away. I was like, my God, dude, I feel like I kind of know what I'm doing when I'm out there, but it's been a rough year. So to get a 1-1 today at the hometown track was like really, really good, obviously, because I'm kind of supposed to win at home, right? So that was nice, and hopefully we can carry some momentum into Washougal, and just really, really happy about today, and got good starts, and stoked.
So on to this championship battle. J-Mart is 4th, Hunter Lawrence is 3rd. The red plate is now swapped. Justin Cooper has it. Jet Lawrence had it all year. I was over-analyzing, I think. Oh, Jet's trying too hard to be consistent and not trying to win the races. Look, it's just simple, dude. Starts. It's a huge problem for Jet Lawrence. It's just starts.
And it's not a problem for Justin Cooper. He's usually right there at the front. That's what makes him so good in these races, because he gets himself out front and gives himself a chance to win. And obviously he was frustrated last week that he did not get a chance to win either moto. So now he's coming in fired up. But yeah, Jet Lawrence, he needs to turn around the starts in a hurry into the second half.
You really nailed it on Justin Cooper. He's been saying for a couple of years that he doesn't want to just be the consistent podium guy. He wants to get race wins. Well, here we are halfway through, and he has one race win, and he has the title lead because of the consistency. He's tired of that happening, and reflected on still not being happy with the point seed because he didn't win, despite having the starts at Millville.
Yeah, obviously it's great to have the red plate, and it's what we focus on. We focus on the championship, and I feel like at this point in my career, there's nothing else that I'd be going for. I've been like the top guy in the class for a little bit now, and I got the Supercross title, and I would love to add this to the resume. So that's been the goal the whole time. It's only the halfway point, so we still have a lot of work to do, and we're just trying to maximize the points every time out, and it's definitely helping with good starts. And overall, I'm really happy on the day. Not happy with my riding really, but there's always stuff to work on, and that's part of the challenge, to be better every weekend and admit to what you're not doing right, and it's a chance to grow going into the next weekend. So that's still going to be the plan. Just obviously do the best we can every time out, and being in this position, you really have to know that and expect that of yourself. So that's the goal for sure.
All right, let's wrap this up. That is the finish line here at Washougal. Thanks to Motorsport, actually got a pretty cool VIP setup so you can watch the finish and the whoops. So it is on before a 2-week break. Who's going to carry the momentum going in? And that's the amazing thing, that we can go this deep in the series, Kellen, and we still don't really know what's going to happen. That's not common.
No, it's absolutely not common at all, and it's crazy that we've had 6 different winners in 6 different rounds, and there still could be a new winner this weekend. We don't know. Could Joe Shimoda show up? Could Colt Nichols show up? All these guys still have been running up at the front. They just can't seem to break through for that win yet. And with Jet and Cooper now battling for the title and kind of worried about each other, it makes it easier for them to assert themselves in there.
7-7. Let's see if Roczen can get the momentum back after winning that moto. Will Ferrandis put the stomp on that? Is Barsha, Tomac, they have something to build off of. By the way, Adam Cianciarulo is out for the rest of the series, getting that nerve issue in his arm worked on, so we'll miss him. Still should be great racing. Want to thank 60 for backing the show. They are committed to the relentless pursuit of better brain protection. We'll see you at 1 o'clock Pacific time from Washougal tomorrow.